Is it okay? Hello, ma'am. Is it okay?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am, and good afternoon to all. Uh, Basically, that topic is a totally different to previous topic and that previous topic and every topic, because this topic is most important in the future generation, you can say, because without data we cannot do anything. That is the most important or valuable part for that topic, and that topic only for the one session. So that's why I am not any lab session is there. So I am just telling you regarding the all the technologies, all the different technologies and data and like that. So first we are starting, that topic name is basically scope of the big data in modern day industry. That is a most important part, means how to use the modern day industry in the that big data part. So first, we know about the big data. Everybody know about the big data, but is a basically main definition of the big data. Basic thing is that is the big data is a term that is describe the large volume of the data. Means is the terabyte or greater than the terabyte. Or, okay. So data basically can be both side, is a structured data, unstructured data, and semi-unstructured data is there. Like a structured data in the defined like some of example structured data is a tabular schema data, some schema data, and the analyze the data. Some of the data is there, and also the some unstructured data example, like we can say some unstructured data example like some of the audio files, video files, like that of the data. And last one is a semi-structured data. Semi-structured data, some example like some of JSON file or XML file, like that. So that three types of the data we can work for the any type of the processing and also the storage purpose, and also the whole scenario. It's called the is a volume of the large volume of the data. It's called the big data. So that is the basically big data and analytics part. The left side is a basic things of the challenges and the take approaches also, and also the big data tools. Means these challenges, what is the challenges of the big data, and also the trend of the data, what type of the trend of the data, because we know nowadays is a Twitter data, tweets data, and also the Facebook images data, and like different type LinkedIn data, message data, number of data is trends is now. And also the take approach, what types of the take approach we can provide it. Another thing is the big data tools, means what type of the tools we can basically use this for the purpose of the big data. And analytics part is the totally life cycles, analytics life cycles part, type of the analytics. Another one is a methodology portion, and last one is also the same analytics tools purpose. So that's the total big data and analytics total things is there. So next part is a basically story of the big data. Basic story starting from the 90s. 90s is the time of the 90s. So that times also starting the large number of the data, and that time also the one of the man, his name is basically John R. Massey, is working that term of the some of the popular time of the data is work in the silicon graphics, basically John Massey. That time to starting the main story of the that data, big data stories. And then basic thing is that big data is relative that obviously new, and the gathering the and storing the large amount of the information. Usually the analysis is the age is old, and also the concept is coming in 2000. Basically, an industry analyst, the Doug Lenny, articulate for the now the mainstream definition of the big data. Means we know about the main big data is a depends on the basically three V's. So that three V's, what is the that three V's? These three V's is important for big data purpose, like a volume, and volume is a most important. Then second one is a velocity, second part, and last one is a variety. So volume is basically terabytes or the recorded and transaction tables files. That's the come to the volume example. Like transactions means like a banking transaction. Number of transaction is there nowadays. Is a we are I think is a total 180 people are attending that seminar. But I think so in all the people UPI through the transaction UPI. I think everyone every day I think at least one or two transaction is there in my point of view. I think so. So like same as record dates and also the terabytes and tables and files is also in come to the in volume part. Next part is a velocity part is a basically streaming data. So I can say that streaming data near time, the real time, and also the batch streaming size of video streamings also you can see. And the third one is a variety already we discussed about the structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. That three part is a very important, but nowadays is the now is the three v's is in near about the nine v's concept is there, but main this three v's is mostly important part of the big data. That part is the volume part, basically the data quantity part, mainly the how much data is there. Okay, variety of the sources, including the business transaction, number of business transaction is there, social media like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, like that, and also the information from the sensor, number of sensing informations, also the machine to machine data. It is also the part of the that volume portion. So that such as technologies are basically in some of the problem storing. That problem is there. Some problem is continue the industry problem. But in these new technologies is a basically Hadoop concept is there for the purpose of the volume purpose. Now velocity. Velocity basically is the data speed. It is total the data streaming purpose. We can using that velocity or V's. So that V is always driving the need to deal with the torrent of the data in near real time data. Next one is a variety. That variety, what types of the data is there, like structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data, number of data is there. So that structured data, unstructured data, mostly we are using number of things like documents. Already we know about the number of documents sharing. That is a type of the varieties example. Also the emails, okay, videos, and also audios, stock tracker data, and financial transaction data. That total three part is there is the volume, velocity, and variety. That's the examples of the what types of the data under the volume, what types of the data is under the velocity, and what is data under the variety. That three v's in the mainly big data consist. Next part is a number of three, another three V's is extended. That three V's, excluding that three V's, is a basically a variability. Another one is a complexity. Basic variability is a thing is that the variety of data is there, increasing velocities, purpose, varieties of data, and data flows can be the highly inconsistent, like the with the periodic peaks. Some like we know about the some of example like Twitter. Some of times some hashtag is there, that time is a hashtag is the number of tweets is coming through that same hashtag. So that's the peak of the time, and a number of periodic the time, and also the number of varieties of data is coming from that way. And also the some complexities basically nowadays is the data comes from the multiple sources, is a number of sources is there, like a link and match, cleans, and the transform the data across the systems, like that of the complexities is a part of the that three V's. Next, now types of the tools used in the big data. That is a basically industry part. Means we know everyone said the we I am the Hadoop developer or big data developer or anything is on Spark, Spark. Number of the recruitment going on for the multinational company last I think 6 to 7 months, more or less. So basically, what tools basically using for the big data purpose? That is where the processing is hosted. It is total depend on. You can see that total five things is there. If the processing is hosted, then we can using the distributed servers or the cloud purpose. That distributed servers or cloud purpose basically using the Amazon EC2. Amazon EC2 basic using for the distributed um, file purpose and also the hosted processing purpose, distributed server purpose, distributed servers or the cloud, like an example for the Amazon EC2. Next part is where the data is storage, basically distributed storage purpose. That is the basically Amazon S3. Now, just I'm compare these two. Basically, what is the Amazon EC2 or Amazon S3? Basically, Amazon S3 is a simple storage service provided by the cloud Amazon, and another one is a basically Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. That is a basically two major services for the using for the AWS storage service for AWS. That S3 basically more the lightweighted purpose. We can storage for distributed way, we can store that data and provide the capability to the store all the data. And EC2 other side, it is a basically secure purpose. We can use the secure purpose, resizable purpose, also the capacity, all the computing capacity in the total in the cloud. That is the two things is there. Basically, Amazon S3 also storage platform of the AWS. We can say the storage platform, mainly storage platform in the AWS. We can use that Amazon S3 purpose, Amazon S3 in the Amazon AWS through the AWS, and also that the can S3 also the storage platform of the AWS, and also the EC2 also we can use this for the some AWS through purpose. That maybe the EC2 mostly uses for the secure and the resizable purpose. So next part is a important part for the big data Hadoop concept for MapReduce. What is the basically programming model? Okay, that is the programming model. Basically, is a distributed processing purpose. We can use this distributed processing purpose. That is basically MapReduce. MapReduce basically data processing layer of the Hadoop that may be uses for the data processing purpose. We can use the MapReduce for the data processing purpose, and also in that MapReduce part is a yarn is a coming yarn, also the resource management layer of the Hadoop. Number yarn of also the resource management layer for the Hadoop purpose. That is also the main portion of the big data. Nowadays, MapReduce is a mostly using in the algorithm or the data structure, also based on the yarn framework. That is a working in the industry also, and also the research area also. The research area, we know the some of the algorithm uses, and also support vector machine and different type KNN like that. And also the in the purpose of the structure data structure on, or the data structure based on that yarn framework is a MapReduce. You can use the for the big data distributed processing purpose. So now Google's basically also in the MapReduce. By Google's MapReduce is a basically MapReduce one type of the software. We can the framework whole program is divided into the number of parts. There the small size of part means, suppose is a 10 is a total program is a 10, then we can divide it to the 2 plus 2 plus 2 like 5 part. That way we can work for the total MapReduce. Also, MapReduce is a computer technique also based on the Java programming. If you know the Java programming, then we go to the MapReduce portion purpose in the industry. Then Java, it is very needed for the MapReduce purpose. Also, the new technologies also is there. Number of languages also there is a peak language also in the uses for the some Hadoop purpose. So that full portion for the MapReduce purpose. Now the fourth point is how data store and the index. That is a totally depend on the high performance schema free database. Basically, we can use the MongoDB. MongoDB basically ideally for the company's purpose also, because all the companies using for the MongoDB for the quick decision uses, and also the one to work the real time data. Basically, mostly big data is the mostly real time data like transaction data. You can say the Twitter data, also the LinkedIn, and also the different type of the social media data. We can using the real time data, and also we can work for the MongoDB for purpose of that, and also the decision also taken the very quick. So MongoDB, one type of the high performance schema free database that can we use for the tools use purpose in the big data. And also the MongoDB is the same. You can say the MongoDB is a no SQL and the document oriented database that is written in the C or the C++, or another one language is called the JavaScript. That three language we can write them. And also that part, it is a free for the uses and open to the source tools, support for the multiple things. So that is a basically mainly MongoDB using for the storage and the indexing purpose. Next part and last part is basically what operation are the performed on the data analytics and the semantic processing. That two portion is there, analytic purpose and also the we can using the semantic processing. That's the total 4 5 tools using in the big data is a big data purpose. Then next slide is a basically big data platform in a single packages. Some of the one single packages we can get that total 5 things is Amazon EMR, formerly basically Elastic the MapReduce. And next one is a Cloudera data platform, and third one is a Google Cloud Data Proc, and the in fourth one is a HP the Emerald Data Fabric, and that is a basically map or means map reduce data platform. And last one is a Microsoft Azure HD inside. That 5 platform is a single packages. We if we can get that that total platform in single packages, then big data mostly concept is a basic things is clear. Now part is the basically what is the basic HDFS. Now technologies part is the technologies is Hadoop Spark include that following categories. Some of the tools is there. So industry basically need the Hadoop developer, SpiceSpark developer, Spark developer, like the Yarn. Number of things is there. So now first part is the HDFS. Basic HDFS. What is basically HDFS? HDFS obviously full from is a Hadoop distributed file system, but it's the number of part is there in the Hadoop concept purpose. So that's the concept is that distributed file system that's the handle the large number of the data set for the running on the community the hardware. That is the most important part, the large number of the data set running in the community hardware. So like in the HDFS app total, some of the data nodes also is there, the HDFS. Then that data nodes are working for the rack one, some of the 3 4 data nodes is there. So some is a rack one, rack two, like that way we can the using the total distributed file format systems. And that basically like a in the cluster wise the group of the cluster and work together. That part is in HDFS is the most important, like A1 A2 A3, like that way. A1 A2 A3, that is a work together, but is a cluster way it can be the work in the, that is a basically HDFS main basic concept. You can say the concept is that. And also the some of the through output data through output and traditional file system also in that the high fault tolerance and the native support for the large data set in that HDFS provide. So HDFS you can say the HDFS is a database. Then we cannot have that totally not agree. The HDFS basically qualify the relation database, and basic thing is a storage model. That is the basically distributed file, no? So that's why that is the storage model also. That's the mainly storage model purpose we can use this. And basic thing is a what basically where is the HDFS data stored? That is another important part. What is the HDFS data is stored? Basically, HDFS data is stored in the blocks. Some of the blocks, small blocks, unit of the data. That the file system is the storage for the HDFS purpose. Another one is a cloud object storage services include the Amazon simple storage service. This one is S3. This S3 also is there. Another last part is a cloud Google Cloud Storage and Azure Blob the storage. That total part is basically using for the distributed file process purpose. So next one is a clustering purpose. Clustering is the most important part. Is that this one is a yarn. Yarn is the most important part, and that is a basically cluster management framework. Yarn mainly using for the cluster management framework. Yarn concept is coming through the basically Yarn full form. You can say the Yarn full form is a yet another resource negator. So that's the coming in the Hadoop 2.0 is a that Yarn is coming, and that Yarn is basically Hadoop Yarn allow the mainly data storage in the purpose of the Hadoop distributed file system to be the processed and the run by the various data processing. Number of data processing engines is there. So the such as the batches processing, stream processing, like stream processing means like video recordings is there, interactive processing is there, graph processing, and many more type of the data is there. Then it is basically uses for the efficiency purpose. Efficiency of the system is increased with and the use of the yarn. Then efficiency purpose, we can use the machine learning technique. If anyone is a researcher, then yarn we can use for the some of the machine learning technique also, because efficiency, accuracy, we can use the support vector machine, we can use the KCNN, AKNN, that type of the different algo also is there. And what is basically yarn big data, like if you can say the what is the yarn big data, basically is a large scale data, number of the large scale, like you can say the EEG signal data, EEG signal, EOCG signal, the different type of the signal data, that is the large scale data, no? So that large scale data is a distributing operating system purpose. We can use the black big data application that yarn, that technology basically designed the cluster management. Already I said that the yarn basically is a type of the cluster management framework. So that cluster management framework, that is a work for the second generation of the Hadoop also, that is a key features. And also some of the Apache software, some open source distributed processing framework also uses. So mainly, yarn is a use for the long continuous length of the interlock the fibers, like suitable for the production of the textile, and number of the different type of the things is in use in the yarn. And also, what is basically how do it works in yarn? Describably, basically large scale distributed operating system used in the big data processing purpose. So that yarn architect basically separate resource management layer is there from the processing layer, so that way it is work. And also is the any yarn cluster manager is there. Yes, Hadoop yarn basically some of the cluster manager works is a main manager cluster manager, that is the basically distributed computing framework purpose as well as, so that's the maintain the job scheduling as well as the resource management, means job scheduling and resource management both are in the part of that. So now next is a Hadoop build resource manager, another type of the same resource manager, like a cluster management type, and the job scheduler also is there. Job scheduler. Next part is a yet another resource navigator, but it is the commonly known as the same as well. So next part is the stream and the processing engine, such like a Kafka and the Samja and the Spark streaming and the structure streaming. That in the streaming processing engine, the mostly industry purpose, we are using the Kafka. Basically, what is the main part of the Kafka? Kafka basic is in Hadoop. We can use in the Kafka is basically in Hadoop purpose. So Kafka, also known as the integration purpose, we can use that to the ability to connect, analyze, and also the transform the data through the SQL. So that the Kafka and also Kafka is related to the non NoSQL database include the that total MongoDB. Already we have described the MongoDB and HBase. That's the second part also is there. There is a Kafka total portion is a real time using for the our scalable purpose and the flexible platform purpose. We can using that Kafka total scenario. So next part is that NoSQL database include the that MongoDB and also the Neo4j and the various other technologies also. So that third part is a data lake and data warehouse platform, that among them the Amazon Redshift is there, and also the SQL query engine like Impala and the Trino and also the SpiceBar. So that four point is there. In that case, is a industry mostly uses for the that Kafka and also the MongoDB, HBase, these three, and also the Delta Lake, and last one is basically Hive and the Impala. That is a very important for the total industry purpose in the big data. And big data future basic scenario in the big data future, amount of the data is there and also created and the storage on the global level. Most basically almost in conventional, and it is just keeps the growing. Our data is there every day is grow greater than greater. So that's the most challenges part in our next generation. And also that means there are the even more potential to glean the key insights from the business informations, like business informations, also the healthcare systems, okay, and also the number of transaction system. Yet only the small percentage of data actually basically analyzed. We can analyze the very small percentage of data. So that the basic things is big data futures purpose. Now, big data analytics means big data analytics is a totally part of the research purpose. You can say that research, and also part of the industry purpose also, big data analytics. So in that analytics portion is basically examine the large amount of the data and the appropriate the informations and identifications of the hidden patterns, also the unknown the correlations, and also the better business decision strategies and operationals, and also the effective marketing, customer satisfaction, increase the revenue. Like now, just I give one example for the customer satisfaction. Nowadays, if I purchase anything, in pantaloons and any others, the shopping mall, then I get the some of message from the that company, the pantaloons or different super stop and any other different companies, and give the feedback. Like that feedback is a very very important for the in business purpose and that company purpose also. If I am not satisfied, which one I am a mostly a great like a discount, or the clothes are very good, and also the designs very good, and the mostly number of storage also very good. So that's the customer satisfaction is a number of things is for the big data analytics part. And also the that is a basically increasing the revenue also, because now my feedback is taken, and also different customer feedback is taken. Then if take the any good actions regarding that feedback, then it is a good for the that super stop or different type of the companies. So that is also the increase the revenue. Like some of example, the DMart and the Big Bazaar. The first time is the DMart and Big Bazaar is totally different, but now DMart is a better than the Big Bazaar also. Nowadays is a DMart is a uh, better for the big data for the revenue purpose and all the others details purpose. So now descript and the predict is there. The descript statistic and the predict analytics is there. Basically, descriptive statistics is term of the given analysis of the data that the help the describe, means that data can the help all the description, and the so the summarize the data meaningful way, such that like an example for the pattern might be emerged from the data. That's the descriptive statistics purpose. And the predictive analytics is a branch of data mining concern, and also the prediction is of the future probabilities and the trends. That's the main, that like I already when example, like the feedback of the customers, that is a better for the probability future probability purpose. It is a better for the future probability purpose. So next is the third point is that the central element of the predictive the analytics in the predator, and also the variable that can be the measure individual or other entity to the predict the future behavior. So that is also the important point for the descriptive and the predictive purpose in the big data analytics. The before I am described the big data technologies and tools, and that is that part is a basically big data analytics part. Now that is a describe the statistics, and the third part is a predictive analytics. Next, predictive analytics is a two types. That's the most important part, and for the researcher purpose, because there is a two types. Is a supervised analytics, that when we know the truth about the something in the past, that's the most important part. Like the prediction purpose, machine learning. The last 10 years, what is the weather prediction? Now we can take the one weather prediction using the machine learning algorithms like that. That is the supervised. Already we know the truth in the something in the past. So that's the most important for the predictive analytics example purpose. So same as example is there already, humidity, also the temperature, the cloud density, that the weather based on the rain, cloudy or sunny. That obviously we are using the machine learning to be use the regression, decision tree, support vector machine. artificial neural network, and etc. So that is the basically predictive analytics purpose. So big data analytics purpose, we can also go better for the researcher. Those are already research in the big data. That is the very important in the big data analytics part in the supervised. We can use the machine learning technique, different algorithms, also the regressions like support vector machines, artificial neural network. So predictive, and another part is unsupervised. When we do not know the truth about the something in the past, the result segment, and we need to the that the main scenario is coming for some of the example, like the segment is about the student based on the historical exam score, attendance, and late story. That's the main part in the unsupervised. We don't know the truth about the past. So that's the two types is supervised and unsupervised for the purpose of the predictive analytics. Next part is a most important part of the big data. Basically, the importance because of the does not revolve the around how much data you have. So it is called the big data or not. And another thing is about what you with it. So that is the most important part. You can take the data from any source. It may be the Twitter handling, also the any transactions data or other data. Okay, then analyze it to find the answer. Some of the answers also find to the some answers like cost reductions, some of the time reduction. That's the scenario. The new product development or the smart decision making. That four. It is a very important means we get the data, but we don't know how to use and how to basically what is basically our answers. We what we want basically. If we want the cost reduction, then we can use that way, and that time reduction, then we can use the different type of the algorithm like in the artificial intelligence, the A star algorithm, AO star algorithm. Like that way we can take the different part. Like we can go to the suppose Bombay to Hyderabad, which one is the best for me, basically time reduction purpose. Then it is a number of processes. There is a we can go to the train, we can go to the flight, and we can go to the by bus, or we can go to the by walk. So that's the four scenarios is there. But is a time reduction purpose, we can obviously take the flight, no? The much more sufficient for me and also the others people, because hardly 2 hours we can reach the Hyderabad. That's the main scenario. It is depend on the data, no? Which data we can get it out, and then the analyze the find the answer. Which answer is the best for us, means that is the four part of the answer. If the cost reduction and also the time, then we can take the train. Then we can take the train and go to the Hyderabad. That's the different importance in the data point of view. So that the point of view of the data, big data importance part. And next is the applications of the big data analytics. Number of applications is there for the healthcare. That is a very important for the healthcare purpose. Nowadays, mostly researcher working in that healthcare AI purpose or big data purpose. That is a smarter healthcare. A number of the applications here also there, number of things is there. And now next one is a homeland security purpose. We can use the 24-hour the CCTV, like through the IoT or different technologies with the some applications also is there. Next, the traffic control also the important part. Then the manufacturing part also, the some of the big data analytics also using the multi-channel sales. This one also is there. Some days ago, some Amazons in USA is some of the packet. You can just take the any type of your monthly and things. So you can just drop the bucket and the price is so there. Means if the I can purchase any biscuit and drop the buckets, and the biscuit price is 35 in that, so the 35 in packets. And after that I can purchase any Colgates and anything is near about 80, then it is the adding to the 80 plus 35 is 11 115 rupees is there. So that way, that the way the technologies is growing up day by day. And also now the telecom we know about the first is a starting 2G, now is 3, 4G, 5G is a big data analytics application purpose. We can use the also the telecom purpose also. The trading analytics, the analytics trading purpose also using the big data analytics. That's the most important part that I just described the one example of the DMart, and also the big data purpose. The big data share, sorry, the Big Bazaar. Big Budget shares first previously is a high, and after that now low to low now is 75, I think so. And DMart now is a near about 3,000 is a share. One share is a price is a 3,000. That trading analytics is a very important application of the big data analytics purpose. And next is a search quality. Nowadays is a search quality is also using for the applications using in the big data analytic purpose. So that's the total different using the applications are through the big data analytics purpose. So how is the big data is a banking purpose? Banking is a large amount of the information streaming. Also the some of the countless the sources, number of transaction is done. Also the some of the manages innovative ways to the manage the big data. That's the most important in the for the banking purpose. And next is the education purpose. Education purpose educated around with the data driven insight can make the significant impact school systems, student curriculums, and also the different types of the purpose we can use the big data. Next portion is how we use the big data in the government purpose, the managing the utilities, running agencies, and also the running different type of the agencies, dealing the traffic congestion, and also the define the crime and different also privacy purpose also we can use the that data. So healthcare is a most important for big data. Basics the patient records. Patient records. If we know the previously that patient's already corona affected, then second times we can take the another all the examine, and after that we can decide that that person is a corona affected or not. So like the previous record, it is a mostly important for the any patient purpose. So next is the treatment plans. Treatment plans also it is depend on the which basically things is going on in the purpose of the patient treatment, how to do the treatment in that purpose. So next is the prescription information, previously which basically which medicines are already preferred, and now which type of the medicine it will be the preferred for the patient purpose. So that's the most important another part of the big data. And when it's come the healthcare, nowadays India is not totally in AI related healthcare is not suggestion, but in the USA, 90% is doing through the AI and machine learning tech applications using the applications for the purpose of the healthcare. So that is the most important part for the healthcare systems, and also big data as the uses for the healthcare purpose. So next is the manufacturing. Manufacturing like armed with the insight that big data can provide manufacturing purpose, boost the quality and output also is a based for the minimizing the waste. And also the more and more to the manufacturing are working in the analytics based culture purpose, so which means they can solve the problem faster and also the better than business decision purpose. That is the most important for the manufacturing means the mechanical portion is part. Then the retail means come to the like a big bazaar and like a DMart and different stores is there, means customer relationship building critical if there is the critical to the retail industry, because best way to manage that is the to manage the big data. Like some nowadays mostly we are ordering the grofers big basket like that way, so we can need the feedback also, like a Swiggy also in the purpose of fooding, Swiggy, Zomato, like that. So retail needed to know about the what basically customer needed and customer satisfied. So best way to the market to customer, that is the most important in the purpose of the data. The next is the most effective way to handle the transaction also, best way transaction also, the most strategic the way to bring the back the labs the business, that's also the most important. But like in the customer purpose, if we can purchase any type of the cold drinks or the soft drinks, then if you open the your basic Swiggy or Zomato application, then previously you can purchase that soft drinks, or that soft drinks is a totally in that first way is the that soft drinks you can purchase is previously. So that way the market policies also is there, different policies. If you want to the number of the discount you need, then you can give the feedback also. Nowadays Uber also send the some of the feedback for the customer, they see is on or not, like that way. That way the everything is a feedback dependent in the purpose of the retail management. So number of data is also the by using for the retail purpose. That the whole things basically in big data, and that whole topic is depend on the big data's the tools and technologies, and also the big data analytics part. So that's the total portion. That's another part is the last slide. I think that slide is basically depend on the what is the big data analytics after the identifying the all the potential sources, different type of the data sources, considering this is, and you need to the make the begin the arranging the information, this how to store or manage it, and how much of it to analyzed, and how to use any insight you uncover. So that 3 point is a very important. How to store or manage, that's the most important part. How to match up the it is the analyzed, and how to use the any insight you uncover. So that's three things is a basically part of the big data analytics. The whole topics is discovered through the big data analytics, and that big data analytics topic in last this topic is basic thing is the how to making the big data work for the your business purpose, or is the research purpose, or the technologies that can help you make the most big data and big data analytics like consider cheapest, and also the first most open source also is there, parallel processing, clustering, virtualizations is there. So cloud computing and the other flexible resource allocations arrangement is there. So number of scene is there. So that's why we can use the big data whole analytics part and the big data research, and also the technology, and how to work the big data work in the now recent days, and also the in future prospect. So that's the whole topic I will cover. If any suggestion or any questions, you can ask. Hello, madam. Divya, ma'am.
Sorry, actually, I was talking on mute. So
Okay.
yes, sir. So 1 second, sir. I'll unmute all the participants so that they can ask queries if they have.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so for the participants, like you're all muted.